Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Martina and today I'm here with the little beauty. But before we go into this, I would like to say a really heartfelt thank you to all my viewers, my subscribers, and to everyone who has watched my videos so far. I see that my channel keeps growing a little bit and this is so rewarding for me, as well as getting comments and feedback from you, because I think this really helps to become better and helps to enjoy what you do or what I do or what you do. So let's keep on doing that. But now let's focus on this little beauty. Well, she is small in size, but she is not small in content. And some of you might know that I, from time to time, love to do fairy-themed journals, and this is one of those. Her name is Fairies and Friends, and that's exactly what it is all about. So there are many different fairies inside, in all shapes and forms. Fairy girls and also some fairy boys, and also fairy friends. So let's go into it and enjoy. She is not that big, as you can see, but she has a lot of content, as I mentioned. So, first, the dimensions. She measures in centimeters, 14.5 times 9, and she comes with a 4 centimeter spine. Inches, this means 5 3/4 times 3.5 times 1.5. So, and you wouldn't believe it probably, but today when I counted, I got surprised myself. She has more than 140 pages, back and front and back. And as usual, I couldn't stop decorating. She is filled with a lot of goodies, yummies, all the things you would expect in a journal, independent from the size. But let's focus first on the cover. You can see it's a collage from different laces. Old laces, newer laces, some ruches, some ruffles. I have also attached 2 decoration items stemming from a broken earring, which I decomposed and then have sewn on. And the collage goes around the full cover, as you can see. And there are several layers of lace, because typically when you do this, you know this from other channels as well, you cannot stop. You layer and layer and layer, and this is what comes out. But I think the outcome is not that bad. So, she is closed with a ribbon from sari silk in a light pink tone. And when I open her, you immediately see what I mean when I say she has a lot of content. Because look at this, she is really, really filled. And she has 3 signatures. So because of that, and because of the fact that the spine is only, let's say only 4 centimeters, respectively 1 and 6 inches wide, she has an alligator mouth. But I think I don't mind. I don't know if you do. So let's start. When we go into the inside, what you can see here is that I have created a flip out from a window envelope, and it's closed with a bow in this really, really hot pink. And also here I have used some blink. So there is a lot of blink in this journal as well, because, you know, I love to do some blinky things, not too much, but a little bit. And here this paper I have used here also has some glitter on it. And inside, this is the first of several fairies. So you can take it out, and that's the one. And there are also some friends already. Butterfly friends. So there are some butterfly friends, but not only. There are several other friends as well. Here I have made a little pocket, and inside this pocket one of my self-created tags. And yeah, maybe you don't know, because typically friends of fairies are all the animals which live in the forest or live in the woods or live in the meadow. But also angels are friends of fairies, and therefore I have some angel cards as well, like this one. Isn't this cute? A little cupido probably. So, I put this back later. And as you know, I love to decorate the edges of the pages I use. And I did this here as well. So I have done some ruffles from hand-dyed silk, laces, different other material I could use, and it's really, really filled, as I said. That's another fairy, a pretty little fairy. So the inside is also nice paper. Here I have used some embossing, which I did on this pink paper, and I have attached a paper clip, which holds together another fairy. And when you flip it up, there is something which probably fairies like, because they are also into beautiful things. And inside there's another fairy. So I put this back later. This is pastel colored paper, lace, decoration, some nice flowers. Here I have stamped some little deers. I love these tiny little stamps. Coffee dyed paper. Of course, a mushroom. And here you have another ruffle made from satin and another tiny tag showing a fairy. Guess what? On the back side, I have made a tuck spot and I have added this tag, which I love so much. It's so happy. It's just a happy meadow, and I think it needed to go in there. It's a nice paper. Here I have embossed some vellum. So I have this really nice texture here, and also it makes the sound which I love. Also I stamped some fairies like this one. And here another pretty paper coming from some cotton or grass material. And it has this really bright colors and flowers, and it nicely matches the theme, I guess. This is coffee dyed lace, vintage lace. Here is another lace pocket, and inside this lace pocket there is a tag, and in this tag there is another fairy glued on, and there's another smaller tag in this pocket. Here this is some gold decorated paper slip. When you turn it, then you see this is a nice belly band with a vintage painting, and inside probably this is the home of the fairies. Maybe. So, some die cuts which I glued on, and here this is one of those flip outs which you who have seen some of my videos might know. I love these flip outs, so this is one of those. So it shows, obviously it shows a butterfly. When you flip it, then there is a pocket, and in this pocket I have used to decorate with this wonderful marble paper, and I have added this little pocket with this from this transparent fabric, and inside there is another fairy and 2 fairy tags. And it opens to this little hut, to this cute little hut over here. And the decoration which you see on this edge just came to me. So it has been gifted to me by my most favorite lace store on Etsy, and I'm going to link it below if in case you wanna look it up. So it's really, really nice, and it came just a few days ago, and I thought this must be in this journal. So here this is just some decoration where I have added some lace and another lace and a circle with a fairy. Again, some die cut. This is this nice paper I mentioned before, coffee dyed paper here. Decoration over there, a sticker. This is the embossed vellum. And here this is a belly band, and this is one of the first friends. This is a hedgehog. And he looks so cute, I think. I only happened to see two big hedgehogs in person in our garden. It was so much fun to see these little fat hedgehogs running around. Well, here I have done a rose page, as you can see. So this is a rose pocket, rose ruffle, and rose tags inside, and above it says roses, all sitting on coffee dyed paper. On the back side, I have used this pretty, really pretty butterfly paper which I recently bought, and I have added this metal embellishment, and here there is another picture of a fairy, and it has been backed with coffee dyed paper. Some of the tags and journaling cards I have sewn around, not all, because otherwise it would have become too bulky, because the sewing still adds a little bit of bulk to the whole thing. This is this pretty paper, and here there is another fairy which I have just clipped on, and I have decorated the clip with some sari silk, and this is again embossed paper. And now we are already at the end of the first signature, and have a look to this really, really pretty butterfly. Isn't this nice? The second signature starts with a decoration which I have made from a vintage doily. So I have cut it out and turned it into a pocket, and in this pocket, guess what? There sits another fairy. A really, really romantic fairy, and she dreams a little bit and fantasizes. And she sits in this flowery cardstock paper which I have used here. When you turn it, then there is a side pocket over there, and here is another fairy piece of paper. It shows a fairy boy, why not? And apparently it's a small one because the flower is quite big. So, and here I couldn't help it, but I had to use this Japanese paper, which is so pretty, so probably it's difficult to really see, but it has this nice pattern, and it's also soft, but still sturdy and strong. I had to cut it, so I couldn't tear it. Yeah, here another page with a nice decoration with this wonderful, I love to use it, flower lace or trim, and this is a flip up. So you can obviously flip it up. Behind it you see this vintage graphic showing one of the friends, the angel friends, with a lady. Oh, two angel friends apparently. And this is another belly band over here. And behind it there is also the picture of a fairy. So flip it back. On the back side there's an owl. Really romantic and cute little picture. And as I mentioned before, I had been gifted this nice trim, the gold trim, but inside this gift pack there was also this really, really pretty chiffon, which has been cut in, probably you cannot see it, in this round shape, and has some glitter on it. So it looks so nice in this light green, so I added it to this journal. And here another nice trim, and on the back side, here these are my self-created tags, and I formed a pocket, and this is the tag sitting in this pocket. And I've used antique book paper and some scrap paper, and then I put on some acrylic paint, gold acrylic paint, and embossed it before, of course, so that it gets this nice texture. So this is another thing which I just wanted to mention, and I'm so happy about it, is that I just recently received very nice feedback from two sellers who said the journals they bought were nice on film, on video, but they were even nicer when you have it in hand, and I'm very happy about it, but I'm not surprised because on one side, because having the touch and having the feel of the different material, and also the sound is clearer when you have it in hand. It makes a difference, and I'm so happy that people realize that. So this is some light vellum, coffee dyed paper, and on the back side I have glued on against this glittery paper I've used for this flip out on the first page. This is some cotton ruffle, a mini doily with this nice decor, another fairy stamp, yeah, mushroom pocket, and inside there's a longer journaling card sewn around. This is also special paper, which is this, I don't know whether it's handmade, but it has this really, really pretty pink, and it has this nice texture. And again, I did some more embossing because I was really into doing some embossing, and I did it on this light green paper, and I think the pattern comes out very nicely. Yes, this is the center spot, and I have decorated the center spot with this pretty vintage graphic showing 3 angels in the woods, and I've turned it into pockets, and inside these pockets there are 2 smaller tags which come in happy colors, green and pink, and do, I think, nicely match the whole thing. And when you have a look to it like this, you see how these colors spread. You see here the pink, and you see here the green going onto the other pink, and I think it's a nice thing for a center spot. Again, this nice paper. Here I have done some decoration on the edge of the page. I think this is always a good thing to decorate the edges. And I just recently saw a video where someone showed, I think, 30 ideas of decorating. I think it was Treasure Books, 30 ideas of decorating edges. And there were many, many good ideas shown. Yeah, of course, this is important. This is the white deer, the king of the woods, and also a friend of the fairies, sitting in this pretty little tug with butterflies. Also some nice lace over here. I also decorated this edge of the page with some of my embossed pages. This is a baby fox. It looks like a baby fox, isn't it cute? And again the vellum, and this is another fairy boy. This is this pretty chiffon, some butterfly sticker, and this Japanese paper, which is so pretty. I love also the color scheme, this pink and this more orangey, and there's also some purple inside on it. Really nice. So this was number 2. Now we are going to number 3. And number 3 starts with a fairy, again a dreamy fairy. And what you see here is that I have decorated the edge with this really, really pretty lace, which I just recently bought in my, as I mentioned, favorite lace shop on Etsy. And isn't this cute? It perfectly matches the color scheme. And on the back side, I have used some of my silk brocade to form a pocket, so Indian silk brocade, and inside this pocket there is another vintage graphic without angels this time, but nice. Such a nice butterfly. I love the graphic. It's so romantic, it's so pretty, and I also love the colors, and I have further decorated it with this hand-dyed rouge, a ruffle. Since Clem Junk Journal was talking about rouges, I tend to use rouge as well instead of ruffle. I don't know what is the right term. Anyway, I think you know what I mean. And I have further decorated it with this little rose and attached it with a brad. And in order to secure it, so not tear the other pages, I have glued on some lace. Another small doily, very cute. Some pretty paper, further decorated with lace. And when you turn this, then you see Cupido. Can you see it? It's Cupido, and it has his arrow pointing to whoever. Tuck spot with a journaling card. It's so fun to make a tiny journal, or let's say a smaller journal, because you really have to minimize all the things, or you have to think about, and then it's not that easy sometimes, because there is not too much space on the pages, and also when you make a pocket and you glue it on, sometimes there is not so much space left. So it has, each and every shape and form has its own challenges, but I love to do it. This is some Japanese paper, and I put it in because I love the color scheme. And it's so nice in tune with this coffee dyed paper, where I also added some further colors in order to give it another glow. So this is another tuck spot and another fairy, and this fairy I have glued on some nice tag in this pretty green, and also the backside is flowery, and I have also further decorated it with some lace. Go back. So this is also this embossed paper, and here you see I have used some gold flakes, and it's so nice to the touch when you feel it. So this is another fairy in blue fairy. And here I have used some really pretty trim to decorate the edge. Another fairy sticker, some nice paper here. 2 birdie friends, and the fairy crown. Fairy stamp. Here I have used some vintage doily, so I cut out some, this is crocheted doily, I cut it out and I sewn it on. And on the back side I have covered the sewing with this washi tape, but I love the colors because they are so well in tune with the rest of this journal. And of course another fairy sitting in this belly band, and she's a vintage fairy and she is also very pretty. Yeah, fairies come in all forms and shapes, and this is another one, and she is also surrounded by some butterflies. And she sits in this pretty flower pocket. Another owl sitting in this strip of paper, which I have decorated with even 2 layers of lace. Yeah. So this is when you do these little things, you do exactly the same decoration, but just, as I say, in a miniature version, and it makes a lot of fun. Lace, center spot. The center spot has some nice paper over here. Then when you turn this, there's another fairy, and I've decorated her with some silk, sari silk. Another lace. And what you see here is my butterfly die cut, which I have created by doing all this collaging and embossing, and then I looked at it and I thought, can be more pretty. And then I added some nail polish, some glittery nail polish on it, and it gives this nice effect, and I love it. And because it's so precious and so glittery, I added this parfum. I think it's a parfum flacon, and I added it here. And I think also fairies like to use perfume from time to time. Another stamp. And here this is another flip out. You see pretty fairy here, and inside this fairy there is this cutie, this little mouse. And I've added this, this is from some ribbon, and I glued it on like this, and I secured it on the back side like that, and it's a nice handle. And then you see this is a little deer, and here inside there's another tag. I put it back later, and there is another fairy hut, or dwarf hut, I don't know. So, flowers, pastel colored paper. This is also some embossed element. This is the Japanese paper. Again some lace, doily, nice paper on to back the cover. That's the end, and the end also has a specialty, because what you see here is a belly band, obviously, and inside this belly band you see this nice little card, and this card is really old. It's, as I say, between 80 and 100 years old, and it comes from the Liebig company, who was doing some meat extracts, some meat concentrates, and were very famous at the time, and also very famous for all their different cards and collector's items. And I was happy to get one. And apparently on the back side there is a recipe in German. So I loved it because I think it's these angels, and then it's also the green, and it's so nice. Yeah, and this was it. This is Fairies and Friends, and as usual, it's available in my Etsy shop. Have a look. I hope to see you soon with my next video. I wish you a very nice time of the year now, and bye bye. This was Martina.